You may not know this, and I don't mean to scare you, but you're looking at one of the top duelists in the world right now. I would march into a biker bar, flip over their table, and break a fucking beer glass on their face and challenge them to a duel, and I would beat their ass, and they'd be afraid of me. I would banish those pussies to the Shadow Realm, and I wouldn't even have the decency to tell their wives what happened to them. I am an unstoppable force of Yu-Gi-Oh! Expertise. Recently, I've gotten back into Duel Links to like an unhealthy degree. I put a lot of fucking hours into Duel Links recently because there's a big tournament going on called the KC Grand Tournament, the Kaiba Corp Grand Tournament, and I really want to place in the top 3. And the reason why I want to place in the top 3 of the tournament is because then you get one of these. There's only 4 of these in the fucking world, and it looks beautiful. I never understood those modern art collectors who would buy like a jar where the artist claimed to have queefed inside of it and pay like $1,000 for it because it's art. I never got it until now. I desperately want this piece for my collection. There's only 4 of these bad boys in the world and it looks so good. So in order to get it, I'd have to be one of the top players in Duel Links. This year, they're not doing a Blue Eyes prize card, they're doing a Dark Magician one. And I actually like Dark Magician more than Blue Eyes, so I want it even fucking more. Obviously, the card isn't actually worth $1 million, that's just a little bit of clickbait. It's really worth $1 billion. This fucking thing is the most expensive item on the planet for good reason, because only the truest competitors and high caliber athletes can earn one of these, and there's only 4 in the entire known multiverse. And soon I will have one of those 4 when I place in the top 3 for this year's KC Grand Tournament. So, yes, I have relapsed. I'm back into collecting Yu-Gi-Oh cards, but I'm not buying boxes like I was before. That's just way too expensive. I've just been buying single first edition cards that are in shitty condition in order to complete my collection to save some money. So I'm just buying first edition cards that aren't like perfect, and that's just what I've been doing recently. And I really would love to earn one of these cards. I want that Dark Magician badly, so I put a lot of time into Duel Links, and I have made it to the second stage of the tournament. I've finished round 1, and now I've moved on to phase 2, where boys become men. But unfortunately, round 2 starts this weekend, and this weekend, the 12th and 13th, I'm hosting a $10,000 Osu tournament. Osu is a rhythm game, and our music, The Gentle Men, 2019 guy Skynut, our entire discography, has been professionally mapped by the Osu community in order to be tournament caliber maps, which will be challenging for even the best players in the world. And the Osu community has been so sweet and supportive of our music, just really wanted to throw like a very special tournament for them. So we're doing a big $10,000 tournament, which is the 12th and 13th at noon. I'll be streaming it at twitch.tv/moistcritical. Please feel free to stop in to put a few extra inches on your penis. Best players in the world like Imrek, Whitecat, everyone is going to be there. Qualifiers just finished. So that's this weekend, and that means I will not be having a whole ton of time to duel in round 2. So I'm a little concerned I might not have optimal dueling time to make it to round 3, but I'm still going to give it an extremely inspired attempt to get there. And I'd like to show you my 5-game win streak, which finally got me to round 2. The way the KC Grand Tournament works is you have to go by win streaks pretty much. There's 25 levels. To go up a level, it takes 2 wins in a row for the early levels, then 3 wins in a row once you get to levels 20. And then from level 24 to 25, which is max level, you have to win 5 games in a row. So I had plenty of times where I'd win 3 games in a row and then lose one, have to start the whole fucking streak over. Then I'd get tilted, put a fucking finger up my ass in anger. Then I'd lose 3 in a row, so I'd go back down to level 23, keep tilting off the face of the planet, go down to level 22, then have to climb back. It was a fucking disaster. But I eventually finally squeaked it out. I went from using Automats to using Harpies. I didn't like Harpies, and then I switched to Thunder Dragons, which is what finally got me there. I really can't put into words just how frustrating it was to get 3, sometimes 4 wins in a row, and then miss the 5th one to hit max level. Oh my fucking god. But Thunder Dragons, they were very good to me. So this match right here was the first one. I went up against the Resonator deck, which is the only tier 1 deck right now, meaning it is the best deck in the game. Thunder Dragons is a tier 2 deck, and I've actually created this one myself based off of some of the other ones, so it's my own unique recipe here. And I gotta tell you, I'm like fucking Chef Gordon Ramsay here. This is some fine dining. The deck I've created with Thunder Dragons is superb. It's extremely consistent. Across the entire thing, I went 8-2 from switching. So I started just using it first time, fresh out of the box, a Thunder Dragon Virgin at level 23, and I learned the deck through getting my ass beat. And then I started to figure it out a little bit. So you're still seeing me as a novice here and still squeaking out wins over tier 1 decks. So it was pretty good, and I'm pretty proud of it. This duel, obviously, if you don't know the game, is going to make no sense because there's just shit happening all the time, and I don't give a fuck. Alright, this is a high IQ game for genius individuals. So now you're going to see game number 2 against a guy named Dark Gamer 138. So I'm pretty sure this guy is a child because that sounds like an Xbox Live generated gamer tag. And if I lost to a child named Dark Gamer 138, I would have just quit gaming for the rest of my life. I would have just hung it all up. I would have just fucking retired. My self-esteem just wouldn't be able to take it. But luckily, I stepped up to the plate, up to the challenge, and I was able to squeak out this win. Not to spoil the anime conclusion for you, but I got it. And I breathed a huge sigh of relief. I misplayed this a lot. To any Duel Links veterans who actually play Thunder Dragons, you're probably puking and coming at the same time. I have already made 2 horrible plays in this duel alone right now. Like some asshole dumb baby, I accidentally put all 3 Thunder Dragons in my hand instead of saving them. And then I get my Levianeer out there, but it gets Karma Cut right away. But luckily I was able to start banishing and get my combos going. And for some reason, Dark Gamer forfeited. I don't know why. It's not like I was really in a position to fucking steamroll him. I think he thought I had another Levianeer so I could destroy his 2 blue eyes. But I didn't, so this man just kind of panicked over nothing. Or maybe his mom came in and told him it was time to go to bed, so she just fucking shut off his iPad. I couldn't tell you. But I actually think I got pretty lucky there because I didn't really have the perfect hand in order to squeak that one out. But I'll fucking take it. And that started the win streak. Now I go up against Harpies, which is a tier 3 deck, but at the time, this was a couple days ago, this was the only tier 1 deck. It got replaced by Resonators as Resonators proved that they were just overall more consistent. Harpy fell down the tier list to move to tier 3, but this is still me just spanking it. I take this player over my knee and I just discipline their ass cheeks. I was able to really just control this one from the get-go. I had a good hand. Going into a Raiden, I had a Sphere Karibo for protection, so when she gets the Cyber Harpy out and she sends the Raiden back, I don't have to worry about getting OTK'd, which is 1-turn kill, because Harpies is really good at that, because it's able to just send a card back to your hand instead of destroy it. So even if your card does have protection, it still usually doesn't have a way of stopping a return to hand effect, which is what made Harpies so good. This guy kind of fucked himself in the ass by attacking me for not lethal. He should have just stopped after the first attack instead of going into the other Harpy, because that gave me Allure of Darkness, which lets me draw 2 and discard a dark card, which let me get the entire combo going. So I got both of my big hitters. I got Levianeer out there to clear her field, and then I got 2 more dragons out there, which was enough for lethal to put that one in the books and send that guy to the fucking grave. I put that man in the coffin, 3-game win streak, and now I move on to Cyber Dragons. I loved Cyber Dragons. I've actually streamed this last year when I was big into Duel Links back then. I would rampage with Cyber Dragons. I think it's fucking great, but it's not as consistent as it once was because it got hit by the ban list so many times. So it's kind of a shell of what it used to be, but still it can be threatening to a lesser man, not a fucking Adonis like me rocking my Thunder Dragons and huge cock. So I'm throwing my shit around. I'm doing it properly this time. I don't really make any huge misplays here. He fucks up, but that's on him. I'm not his fucking dad. Him making mistakes doesn't disappoint me. In fact, it only makes me happy. Seeing his failure puts a smile on my face. Now here, I make a smart play. I know that since it's Cyber Dragons, I don't want to attack into him for something less than lethal, because then that gives him Cyber Style, which he still gets anyway, because he had the fusion support, which takes down his life points, allows him to summon the dragons, get his combo going. But luckily I had a Sphere Karibo, which literally won me the game because his Rampage Dragon was about to finish me. And then Sphere Karibo that, I get my shit rolling, Levianeer comes out, pops the Rampage Dragon. Dude just straight surrenders when I continue to just take a victory lap and rub my cock on his chin. That's 4 in a row. Last one. I've been in this position multiple times at this point. I've had a couple 4-game win streaks where I fail on the 5th one and then tilt, and then I go way back down. So I was trying hard to be tilt-proof. Slapping myself in the mirror, throwing fucking water on my face, telling myself I'm the best duelist there is and I can't fuck this up. And then I went up against my arch enemy, my least favorite deck. Up until this point, I don't think I had ever beaten a Photon deck. They have this crazy fucking boss monster, the Galaxy Eyes Photon, which fucks me up every time. When I was playing Automats, I couldn't really get by it. When I switched to Harpies, also sucking dick on it. And this was my first time trying against Thunder Dragons, and I finally was able to get there. And it was a large part thanks to this immediate play using Trifortress Tops. Since he summoned 3 monsters, I was able to special summon this guy from the hand, which gave me a little bit of a stall to set up my shit a bit better. So I'm in a not great position right now. He's got the full combo going. He's got Galaxy Eyes Photon coming out. I'm starting to sweat a little bit. I don't even really know what the card does, so I tried the Sphere Kuriboh, not knowing that he can just negate that by banishing itself. I get Levianeer out there, which immediately gets fucking banished. So I'm in rough shape right now. I'm fucking treading water. I'm getting my head thrown in the fucking football locker room's toilet, and he's making fun of me. I get my XEs out there, which is the M7, which would have taken care of the Photon Eyes, but yet again, he had another back row to deal with that. And then he made a misplay here by attacking me for less than lethal, which let me get Allure of Darkness again, which got the whole combo rolling. I was able to get Raiden off that draw, which allowed me to go into Vermilion for the Synchro, kill the Galaxy Eyes Photon, blast his defense monster, and fucking take it for D-level max. I feel like a fucking champion. I had to play my ass off in order to get that. To everyone who doesn't play Yu-Gi-Oh!, you probably only understood like 3 words I was saying there. But there was a lot of shit I had to do there, so many moving parts in order to get those wins. It was not an easy 5-game win streak. I went up against 2 Tier 1 decks. Harpies was Tier 1 at the time, and now Resonators is the current Tier 1. 2 Tier 1 decks, two Tier 3 decks actually, and then a pretty strong rogue deck with Cyber Dragons. It took a lot of work, and I fucking Gangnam styled on those pussies, and I squeaked it out. 5-game wins. I'm going on to round 2. But anyway, I just wanted to share this because I was really proud of making it here. It took a lot of dueling and a lot of like deck theorizing, and I came up with a deck of my own, obviously based on standard Thunder Dragons decks, but with a couple of inclusions that I thought made sense and fit my playstyle a little bit better. So I'm just happy to have gotten there and wanted to share it with all of you because I worked hard for that shit, and hopefully I will be able to place top 3 and take home that beautiful card and trophy. That's about it. See ya.